Hey everyone, I'm back with another lickety-split tech tip, and today I'm going to talk about Zoom and how you can use this to video conference with your student, parents, or other colleagues. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go to the Zoom website, which is zoom.us, and then you are going to sign in once you've created an account. It's free to make an account, especially for educators right now. And either you can sign in with an email address or you can link it to your school East Amwell Google account. Alright, so once you sign in, it'll take you to the main page and it defaults to your meeting tab. And this is where you can create a new meeting or you can create reoccurring meetings. So I'm going to walk you through how you create a meeting, how you can get that out to your students or parents, how to start that meeting, and what it looks like in the actual meeting itself. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to schedule a new meeting. Alright, when you start building your meeting, we're going to go right down the list here. So the first thing is you want to give it a title. So it could be alright, and then you can Alright, you can give it a description, which is not necessary, but you do have to give it a topic title. When, you can pick the day and the time when it's going to occur, and you can give it a duration. It could be an hour, but you can make it whatever you need. But usually an hour is sufficient. Your time zone should default to the proper time zone. If you know you want to make this like an everyday or once a week type thing, you can set it up for a reoccurring. Meeting ID, you can have it automatically generate, which is the easiest. You can require a password. I would highly suggest that, especially if you only want students in your class to join and not other people. You can make it random, or you can make it simple but not overly simple that anyone can guess it. Now, the host is saying, what type of video options do you want? The host wants video on, that would be me. And if I want my participants, all the students or parents, if I want their video on. Audio, how can I hear them? Can I hear them from the telephone if they want to dial in? Do I want to have them do computer audio or both? I know that I'm only going to have them use either an iPad or Chromebook, so I'm just going to keep it on computer audio. And then the last one is enabled to join before me. I would not recommend that, especially if you're dealing with your students. I want to be in there and then let the students in rather than them be in there before I get there. Participants upon entry, you can do that if you'd like, and you can unmute them once the meeting starts. I'm going to always suggest enable the waiting room, because if they log in before you get there, at least they're ready to go waiting for you. And you could choose to record it as a video session. When I'm done, I'm going to hit the save button. Alright, once I save it, it's going to bring me to the screen that just confirms everything I did. It gave me my title, my time, that I created a password for it, the join URL where I can copy an invitation. I'm going to come back to that in a second. And then all the options that I created for audio, video, and for them to wait in the waiting room. Now let's say if I accidentally click off of that, I'm not going to lose it. What I'm going to do is if I go back to my meetings tab, I could see that it is, oh, there, I created it. I can then go back into it, and here's that same saved information. Now the other awesome thing is that I'm going to hit this copy the invitation, because what that's going to do is it basically gives you a copy and paste that I can copy all this and then send this via email to all of my participants. Or I could also post it, say like in my Google Classroom where my students have access to it. So I can hit copy meeting invitation, it copies the clipboard, and then I can close that. Alright, so now that information I just copied, I can go to my email, open a new message, send it to all my participants, and I could say upcoming Zoom video, and then I can literally paste in there from the Zoom website, right? It gives it the topic, the time. Here's the website where they can join from, the meeting ID, which they may use, and then if I set a password, it'll put it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and send that out to my students. And the other thing I could do is if I go to my Google Classroom, I could say, I can post it for everyone. I just pasted that in, and I'm telling them all the same information, and then I can simply post it there for them to access. Alright, so let's say I come back and now I'm in the meeting, I'm ready to start this meeting. I'm going to click the start this meeting. I'm going to open Zoom, I can trust it, it'll launch. And then, hey, I'm going to join with computer audio because I have the webcam in my laptop. And I've started the meeting. The other options that I have are on the bottom here. I can mute myself, I can stop the video, I can invite additional people, manage participants. If I click this, it'll open the sidebar here and it tells me everyone that's in. I can go back. If I want to chat and type anything, I could type a message here. I could record it to save it as a movie. Screen share then shares whatever is on my desktop. So if I'm typing a Google Doc or anything like that, I can show the people in my meeting what I'm doing on the computer. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have everyone start coming in. So I'm going to show you from the student view how they can join the conversation. So now I'm on a Chromebook as a student, and as a student I just checked my email from that invite that I sent earlier, and oh, there's the email. So I'm going to click on that. It says, hey, here's the meeting URL, and there's a password if I need it. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to launch on the student's Chromebook, and it should be allowed. And then once I have that, it's going to give me the option if I want to join with video or without video. It's up to the student. They can click that, and then it's saying, okay, hey, they've joined, but I'm in the waiting room, right? Because me as a teacher, I have not let them in yet. Alright, I'm also going to show you what it looks like from an iPad or iPhone, because the nice thing is that they offer an app. Zoom has an app that students can download, parents can download, put it on their device, and then they're going to go ahead and open up the app. And then it says, well, yeah, I'm going to join a meeting, and it's going to say, hey, well, what's the meeting ID? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my meeting. If I can go to one of those emails, or if I actually go to the meeting that I have in, I'm going to go to the top left-hand corner. This little eye here can tell me the information that I need, and the meeting ID is right here, and then the password that I set is right here. So I'm going to use that information to enter on my iPad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the meeting ID in the appropriate box. I can then customize my name for how I want the host or the teacher to see it, and then I'm going to hit the join button. And then, oh, what's the password? Well, good thing it was in the email. And I'm going to continue. And then same thing, is going to be a video preview. I can join without the video or with the video. And then again, first time it might prompt you saying, do you allow it to use your camera or microphone? You can hit yes. And then they can join the meeting. And again, we're still waiting on the host or the teacher to invite you in and officially start the meeting. All right, so from here, when I go back to my end, I can see that, oh, look, I have 2 people waiting to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and admit them. And then I can mute them all if I need to. Alright, so the very cool thing is now I can see all my participants in here. Not only do I see their video, but I can see that I have them on the right hand side here. I can mute whoever I need to mute. I can go to speaker view, meaning whoever's talking is most prominent, but I can still see them. Gallery view is an equal representation of everyone in the chat. I can chat again, and I can choose to unmute them, right? I have more options that I could stop their video, stop my video, put them back in the waiting room if I need to. I have a lot of options in here. Again, share my screen if I'm typing in a Google Doc and I need to show them what to do. But really, it's a great option. And this is the basics to get you started. Now, when you're done, you can choose to then, in the bottom right-hand corner, it says end the meeting. I'm going to end that meeting. So I have the options of leaving the meeting, but I can keep it going. But I would recommend, if you're the teacher and it's especially students, then I'm going to end the meeting and then everyone is done. And then it comes back to my home screen and I can get back into Zoom. And I can go back into my main screen and go to meetings from here. And then it still saved it as an existing meeting that I could always go back in and look at it there. All right, some tips if I may. So just let your students or parents know well in advance of when you plan on having a conference. Email them the initial invite when you set it up. I would also send a reminder the day of, but also post it in your Google Classroom, and you can even add it to your website on the remote learning section. The other thing is make sure you have an agenda. You know what you want to say, what you want to get to, but also keep it loose in case a discussion goes one way or another. Keep some wiggle room in there and make it fun and interactive. And here's some resources. One of the best is that the Zoom in the website has its own tutorials. So if I go into the Zoom website and go to my profile in the meetings, if I look down here on the left hand side, there's video tutorials, and they have a bunch of videos that you can access on your own to watch about specific parts of the account and how to run a successful video conference. The second resource I found online was these Zoom tips for teachers, which just gives a lot of good outlines and even some scripts and things you can go by of how to have a successful Zoom for education. And finally, the third resource I found, and this is actually thanks to Mrs. Mirabel, but Simply Kinder, of how you can do Zoom tutorials for teachers, and this is great for the primary level instruction of how you can get it set up and communicate with your students. And again, if you go, there are some different cheat sheets and agendas you can follow. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate your time on this one. I know it's a bit of a longer one, but I wanted to show you how Zoom works, how you can get it started, and then how you can successfully communicate with your students. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know, and have a good one.